Right, let's see, this will work tonight. Is it going to work? Oh, looks promising. Excellent. Evening all, I think we might be working. If we are, please give us a thumbs up under the video here, down here, wherever it is. Down here somewhere, or type something in the comments. So I've been playing around with the video settings and the sound settings to try and squish it down to send it out to YouTube so it doesn't buffer, hopefully. So this is a bit of an experiment. It'll probably go horribly wrong, because experiments usually do. But let me know if it sounds all right and if it looks all right, basically. If you can kind of read the website that's on the screen, or if I need to enlarge the type, would be useful. And then we'll have a look at some stuff. Evening, David. Hope you got home okay. Evening, Peter. Evening, Gary. Marvellous. Well, it looks vaguely promising then. It seems to be working. So we'll assume it is. Right. Excuse my scruffy shirt. I've not been in long. So I think everybody, Evening Paul, collected today who was supposed to collect from the Elephant House. So that's good. So nice to catch up with some people haven't seen for a while again. 2 or 3 years, some people. So yeah, that was quite nice again. And as I said, I've not been home long, so I've just been fiddling about trying to colour up some stuff, some scans from 1965. Peter says sound is good tonight. Well, that's good to know. Thank you very much. Just keep a if it goes weird, let me know. But yeah, so we had a look before at this copy of the coin slot, which is June the 5th, 1965. Let's show on the camera. Where do I need to be? Over here, this way. That Gary lent me to scan, which I've scanned in, so I must get back to him. There's a couple of good stories in it, actually, so I might read you some bedtime stories in a minute. There's an interesting bit about Clacton Pier and Brenner's. There's a really nice arcade review as well, which lists quite a few interesting machines, so I thought that was quite good. Evening, Peter C. So what I was trying to do is see, because in old, this is quite fragile, but you know, old newspaper like this, where do I need to be? Actually, it doesn't look too bad on it, but it goes really yellow and fades. And of course, with newsprint, you get the bleed through from the other side as well. So it's really hard to scan things and try and make a good image out of them. What I did, where was the... Yeah, so Wheel of Fortune, for instance. Oh, hang on a minute, it's almost not staying still. There we go. So Wheel of Fortune, I mean, obviously this was a black and white advert. About, yeah, big 16 inch advert or something. So I thought, well, I'll scan it in and use the colour filter thing on it and just see what happens, where we get to. And surprisingly, the colours come out pretty much what they should be, don't we? Know Wheel of Fortune is kind of yellow and black. So yeah, it's amazing what even from really poor kind of newsprint print, which is what, 65. So that's what's that, 55, 57 years old. It's a pretty old bit of newspaper. How well it can come up. So Chris says, good evening. Gary says, where you lost it? No, not lost it. Very carefully look after. It's been laying here on my scanner, keeping nice and flat. So I'll get it back to you. I don't want to post it to you, because if the postman loses it, it's gone forever. So let me know when you're around at the Elephant House or whatever, or can be, and we'll make sure we get it back in one piece. Yeah, so it's surprising how good that coloured up from a black and white advert, really. So obviously I'll add these onto the website when I get around to it. So, but I just had a look. So I did Wheel of Fortune. They're coming out a bit with the interference patterns. I'm going to have to see if I can improve that, you know, from the dots in the newsprint. So I thought, well, I'll try it on one of these bandits, because we know these are usually this kind of bluey, hammerite finish. And sure enough, it came out kind of bluish. So it does give us an idea of machines that we've never seen before, what kind of colour they were. And even though there's hardly any detail in newsprint photographs, especially old ones, it does, when you apply this artificial colour into them, like I've done with some other pictures in the past, it seems to bring out more detail somehow. It's an optical illusion. Obviously, either the detail's there or it isn't. But I think just adding colour to it separates things out more, and you suddenly notice things more. So yeah, it's an interesting process, really. So I did it on this photograph of this article. I'll read you in a minute. I tried it there with the Crompton's machine and the cover the spot. They didn't come out so well. I'll fiddle with the settings to see if I can get them a little bit better. Because both those machines, or all three of those machines, as far as I know, none of them exist. It'd be nice to try and get a better reference image to see what they look like. Oh, well, there's the cover the spot down in Dingles, but the big Crompton's machine, it's not there to be seen anymore, is it? So yeah, this was the one I was trying to do something with, because in this issue, I'll read the article out in a minute, because it's really interesting. Let me find the page. I'm trying to be very careful because it's pretty fragile, this paper. I think it's on page 36, was it? Yeah, we won't see now. Oh, my pictures disappeared. That's interesting. Where's my background gone? A nice background here a little while ago. I thought I'd be festive and have a Union Jack, or Union flag, I should say. Where's it gone? Copy. Paste. Ooh. Hang on a minute. Aha. There you go. Clever, eh? All Jubilee-ish. Yeah, you know, as I say, the image is, yeah, ropey. So I thought, well, I'll try and add a little bit of colour to that and see what we get. Anyway, there's a couple of interesting articles here. One about Brenners. I don't know, I could add these onto the website, I suppose. I mean, it's copyright, technically speaking, blah, blah, blah. I don't think anyone's going to be too fussed from a 1965 newspaper. But this particular week, it's got the death of Brenner. Let's find a Brenco machine to look at. What have I done with the pictures? Hang on a minute. Mr. Brenner. Oh, now my Union Jack's gone funny. That's not good, is it? Can I move that over there? Yeah, look at that. Live editing. Can't beat it. Excellent. There we go. So this is 1965, June the 5th. It says, death of J.G. Brenner. We regret to have to report the death of Mr. John George Brenner of Weston-super-Mare at the age of 90. So he did quite well, didn't he? Mr. Brenner was an enthusiastic member of the British Automatic Machine Operators Society and a keen advocate of the holding of exhibitions for the trade only. Bracket, writes Edward Graves, bracket. He was chairman of the Manufacturers and Distributors section at the time of the first coin-operated machine exhibition at the First Avenue Restaurant, High Holborn, and was one of those who, after the war, actively supported the change of name from BAMOS to Amusement Trades Association. As a man who enjoyed life, he wholeheartedly participated in the jollifications of the Slot Club. Well, we all like some jollifications in the Slot Club, don't we? Among the machines produced by the original machine manufacturers of Southend-on-Sea, which he founded some years after the end of World War I, were the Human Analyst, I've got one of those, the Nervograph, which I haven't got, the Wishing Well, and White Magic. As far as I know, I don't think there's any nervographs, Wishing Wells or White Magics survive. In 1946, Mr. Brenner acquired the Grand Pier at Weston-super-Mare and was joined there by two of his sons, Derek and Arnold. The brothers eventually formed a new company, built a factory and entered the manufacturing field which the originals had graced so many years before. Together they put up the money for the company which was to be named Brenco Equipment Limited. Their father, J.G. Brenner, agreed to be nominal chairman. Last year, so that's 1964, Brenco Equipment moved into a brand new factory on Western Trading Estate, full details of which, together with some more information on the Grand Pier activities, will be given in a forthcoming issue of the World's Fair. So we need that forthcoming issue of the World's Fair, because I'm sure there'll be lots of interesting things in that if we could find it. So yeah, but just there, that little article gives a few interesting little key bits about Brenners. So I thought that was good. There's also an interesting bit about the Australian firm goes public about model holdings, which are to do with Jubilee. But yeah, I could read the whole paper for you. It'd be a bit boring, wouldn't it? Peter says, my Wheel of Fortune is still working well and very popular. Before anyone asks, this is the machine from the Isle of Wight's Penny Arcade, owned by Swallow Automatics. Yeah, good machines. We had one. Now what? Who's got mine? I think Paul's got the one that we had. Dave and I had in Botany Bay. I think that is the one that Paul's now got. But the bottom was rotten off it, if I remember rightly. But it did took good money. And then we had the Rotor Fruit, which is very similar, up there as well, which I think let's just go to the website a minute. Calling up Rotor Fruit if you haven't seen it. I think does Robert Rowland own that now? I think he might do. What am I looking for? B for Brenco. Oh, Rotor Spin, sorry, not Rotor Fruit, Rotor Spin. Yeah, this thing, floor standing. Yeah, this was actually the one that I owned, or Dave and I owned, to be technical. Botany Bay or Bygone Times, wherever we had it. Same sort of thing. Bet on any of the fruits. But it's had no losers, which was good. All 15 fruits were winners. Yeah, they just took so much money. Great machine. Paul says that's the one. Yeah, so my ex Botany Bay / I think it was Bygone Times actually we had it. Rotor Spin is Paul's, that one now. And the Isle of Wight one is now Peter's. So there's not as many of these machines around as you might think. They're all sort of the same machine. So my this Rotor Spin I think just forgotten his name. I just said it, haven't I? I've now got it. Which I think might be the only one. It's the only one I know of, the Rotor Spin. Unless anybody knows of any more. Yeah. Now in here somewhere there was an interesting article about Clacton Pier as well, where we were a few weeks ago. Let's find that. I think it was on page 32. Just be a bit careful because these old papers get so fragile. 32. Yeah, here we are. Pier Amusements. So again, this is June 65. It says Clacton Pier opened for the season last Saturday. So it's quite late, isn't it? So it's obviously the Bank Holiday Monday, the Bank Holiday weekend, as it were. Opened for the season last Saturday, including the rides Steel Stella, which is a big roller coaster, Ghost Train, Speedway, Cresta Run, Dodgems, Mirror Maze, Peter Pan Railway, and attendant smaller stuff. The Wonder Swimming Pool continues from today. There was some talk of closing this after last season, but a reprieve allows it to continue. One of the highlights is water polo every Sunday afternoon. There you go. Then there is the indoor live show, Ocean Review, featuring Roy Hood after his successful appearance on television in the programme Not So Much a Programme, More a Way of Life. Obviously a hit because we've never heard of it. This is not due to start until next Saturday. At the other end of the parade, there is, of course, the newly modified pleasure park adjoining the Butlin Holiday Camp, offering fairground amusements of every description. So that pleasure park is Manning's park, with a lovely Art Deco building on, and now sadly no fairground in it. But yeah, so it's interesting a bit. So they open quite late in the season then, which is interesting that they could afford to open that late in the year, really. There's a whole load of this is really busy. There's so much information in these papers. There's a whole bit here of can't see where the camera, I can't really see it, but there's 2 columns of new companies. Lincoln Automatic Laundries, Amusement Designs, SBH Vending, Ricken Laundrettes, Ammer Change Automatics. Well, seems lots of laundries, automatic laundries. Jervis Enterprises, Enterprise Bowling, Valmatics I think I've heard of. Mermaid Amusements, All Automatic, Coin Games, Lorca Trade, Thomas Entertainment, Leicester. That's interesting. Purtons, etc. Yeah. That's reasonably interesting because it tells you what the companies were. Like, for example, Mermaid Amusements Limited, it says private company, blah, blah, blah. Objects to carry on the business of manufacturers of and dealers in machines of all kinds for entertainment, etc. Never heard of them, don't know what they made. Coin Games Limited. Anyway, so that was that one, and then in Whitley Bay, it says a new amusement arcade, Las Vegas, will be seen on the seafront at Whitley Bay. Mr. Harry Swaddle, a well-known amusement caterer and cafe owner, applied successfully to the town council for permission to use the disused picture house as an arcade during the summer. So that it closed down in 1963, etc., etc., etc. So this is all good stuff. When I get this interactive map thing going, so I'll scan this whole paper now so Gary can have it back, and I've got all the information for due course, because there's all sorts of interesting little snippets like that. When we're talking about history of arcades, parks, piers and so on, these little articles give you so much information. And then this, let me find a picture of that arcade again, which is, find it now what we've done with the arcade picture. Bear with me, here it is. Over there a little bit, like that, and there we go. So this arcade is, or was, might still be, I don't know, in Bexhill, down on the south coast. It's quite a long article, but it's quite interesting. Good bedtime story for you. You might get bored if I read it all out, but we'll see how we go. It says automatic gossip, which I assume is a regular column, so it'd be interesting to read all of them, really. It says, on the seaward side of the front at Bexhill-on-Sea stands a squat building known as Marina, the kind of thing once familiar to our coastal resorts. Just now, its various sections are put to diverse uses, with 2 of them accommodating clubs. One of the longest established businesses is that of amusement catering, found in Marina Arcade. Here, as long ago as 1935, Charlie Knight established himself, quickly gaining for Marina Arcade the confidence of the public by the manner in which the place was conducted, which did not surprise those who knew Mr. Knight and his ways. Charlie died, and the Second World War brought with it closure of the arcade. But in 1946, Mrs. Knight reopened Marina, which was to become her very life. In the first few years, she was helped by her daughter Joan, sister of Stan Condor of Stanite Automatics of Tottenham. Her advancing years and health problems were not exactly helpful, but Minnie Knight courageously carried on, receiving over the last 2 years of her life much practical assistance from daughter Joan's husband, Frederick Higgins, who was himself much helped by being of a mechanical turn of mind. When Mrs. Knight died some weeks back, it was decided, as Stan Condor mentioned to me at the time, that the Higgins should carry on Bexhill's Marina Arcade. This is obviously kind of just happened there, obviously interviewing the new family there. There's a nice picture of them here as well, which I didn't scan. Anyway, it says, descending on them in the company of our photographer Doug Mackenzie, one recent morning, I found myself meeting a happy little family. Frederick Higgins, fully conscious of what the running of Marina Arcade expects of him. Joan, his wife, cheerfully backing him up with her own knowledge and determination. 4-year-old Stephen, full of beans but inclined to be camera shy. And Matthew, at 16 months, a little too young to know what it was all about, but giving us a friendly smile. Gertie, for many years Mrs. Knight's companion, has stayed on, and Tony Parker, trusted mechanic of Knight's Amusements, is still there, starting his 7th season at Marina. So then it goes on to list some of the machines, which is where it gets really interesting. It says, Marina Arcade comprises 2 shops linked together with the accommodation at the back, including a maintenance and repair workshop. The place is lit throughout by neon tubes, and the coin-operated equipment is well mixed, as witnessed the time limit wall machine of an Allwyn type, overlooking a Maverick. Don't know what a Maverick is. Anybody know what a Maverick is? So a time limit wall machine of an Allwyn type, overlooking a Maverick, and the Brenner of Croydon hand impressionist personal analyst stance alongside a Streets 3-shoot Wheelerman. Some halfpenny Allwyns keep company with Ruffler and Walker's many happy returns, and a number of 6-penny tables are grouped together. Viz. Showboat, Riverboat, Palooka, Big Deal and Rocket Ship. In another part of the arcade are a group of 3-penny flipper tables, the dozen or so of these including Crisscross, Satellite, 4-Star, Kickoff and Rose Bowl. Then it goes on to shooters. A Streets single rifle range has for a companion a jungle shooter with a monkey climbing a palm tree, but I believe this latter is going, and the complete site will be allocated to a double Streets rifle range. Here, too, stands a Brenner White Magic, surely the last of the old originals fortune machines. That probably was. Unfortunately, I can't see a picture of the White Magic, so I'd love to know what it looked like. A Philip Sheffers Lucky Clown, so gay and colourful, makes a good call bird in the front of one of the 2 shops, a use to which this is frequently put, as I see on my frequent travels. In this area too are a crane, coin-operated kiddie ride horse, Barclay fruits, and one of those impressive Avery personal weighers. A variety of tastes are catered for by a midway shooter, several German payout conversions, that indefatigable veteran, the pusher shooter, and a 10-strike, which, says Mr. Higgins, has gained in popularity. Around the corner, one encounters a bank of Duchess penny fruits on a trim. On a trim? I suppose it means on a bench. On a trim long stand. Read the punctuation. A copper Seeger and phonographic equipment new Bally fruits, giving the customer 3 pulls for 6pence. And a gold award entitling the winner to a 5-shilling prize. You can see them in the bottom right of the picture. I can't point to it, but here. Still justifying the floor space occupies a Horton hand grab, which you can see in that picture there, just sort of kind of in the middle. Horton hand grab, is in the good company of an Aaron's two-player football match. Can't see that in the picture. A Balami jukebox is protected from leaners by a simple but effective barrier. And among the other machines noted are Treasure Cave gift vendor, a Grand National two-player, a Wheelamin, a World Series baseball console, rejuvenated in the arcade's workshop, a two-player Bergman non-stop. That's the thing right in the very foreground of the picture there, the non-stop. Lost my place. A Miller's Starlight. That's the thing behind the non-stop there. A double-sided flashy light thing. Where have I got to? Miller's Starlight. Yeah, Miller's Starlight film flasher with 6 plate places, 3 each side. A Jaguar crane, such a contrast in style to the older types. The Jaguar crane is those sort of counter, the floor ones that are counter height tops, looking top of. A two-player football, a Bernard Brenner fun wall machine, one of the best ever, say some folk. A variety of wall machines, among them some of Crafts. Ice hockey, a Crafts Gold Cup, Electro Dart, Auto Fruit, Lucky Throws and Rotopool. The new challenger of Robinson Partners of London Limited. Now that's right in the back corner of this picture. It looks like the one we sold in the auction. This is by Robinson, so that's interesting. And distributed by Samson. There's an advert on this same page of that machine by Samson, so we now know who made that machine. It's made by Robinsons. And a model railway, the latter set in the country scene, once invited the patron to try his skill as an engine driver. If he was successful in stopping the train at the station, he received an award. Now it operates simply as a working model. And I think that looks like it's in the merchandiser cabinet next to the hand grab. We had one of those train things. If any of you are old enough to remember, I did an auction on the pier when I first bought the pier. And there was one in there. So it's like a Waltonian cabinet with a train that goes round in a circle, and you, as I said, you tried your skill to see if you could stop the train in the station somehow or other. I don't think it worked, but it looked like it was all there. It says, taking my leave of the Higgins, I felt that in them, Knight's amusements were the successors to Mrs. Knight. Frederick was quietly confident of their ability to carry on where she left off, and I'm sure he's right. They know Bexhill and what it expects, and that's going to be a great help. And it says, on our way down to Bexhill, we called in at Wayside Cafe for 11s. Its actual location doesn't matter, but I was struck by the coin-operated equipment open to patronage. A Bally Lolly Dolly console bearing the phonographic equipment label, a jukebox, a Mills 777, and a copper Sega, a change-giving machine, and vendors of cigarettes and Aspros. And there's a couple of other little bits in this article. It says about Jim Crompton. Ramsgate's Jim Crompton has joined the board of Chorley Amusements Company Limited, which operates the Matador at the new entertainment centre in Blackpool Central Drive. His fellow directors in this enterprise are J. Ben Lewis, Ivor Roberts, who used to be sales manager for Alf Crompton, and E. Rawcliffe, FCA. And a bit about magician. I don't know why this is relevant, but anyway. I went along to Reading the other day to judge a competition among members of the Home Counties Magical Society. The principal prize was the invitation shield open to members who have won another competition for a cup. My decision went in favour of Len Hensley from Camberley, who, as I handed him the trophy, observed, I'm a regular reader of your automatic gossip. It transpired that he is a representative of Cosway Automatics Limited of Windsor. Oh, there we are, there's the connection. So yeah, what an interesting article to list all those machines. It's just a pity that a couple of them there's not pictures of, in particular the White Magic, which I'd love to know what that looked like. It's a fortune teller of some sort. But it does tell us the maker of that Challenger. So if I go back to the old, back over here a minute. have we got it down for? The War Machine coin drop type. This Challenger we thought might be Holt, because I think they made the little one, didn't they? I think they've got a name on it. This one. I mean, they look like they're made by the same people, don't they? That's the bizarre thing. Holt. But this one, which looks identical other than the script on the top flash to the one in the Samsung's advert, it does say is made by Robinson Partners of London and distributed by Samsung, and this one had a Samsung's badge on it. So yeah, interesting stuff. Wonder if one copied the other, or if Holt were something to do with Robinsons. Have we got Robinsons down as a manufacturer? I don't know. Arthur Robinsons, let's have a look. Nope. So there we are, interesting stuff. There's some other interesting stuff in here as well. But I won't bore you with any more, I don't think, because I'm sure you're fed up with me gossiping away. But I'll have a fiddle with some more of the adverts in here and add a little bit of that artificial colour into them, because it just highlights them. You can see, as I say, you can kind of see more in them, and I'll add them to the relevant pages on the website there. And then I've got, I think there's another 4 as well I've got. I think it's Paul lent me a couple. I've got a couple of copies. And then in due course, I've got access to a whole load from Adam at the Fegger and Heritage Trust. He's got a load of World's Fairs, but they've got a lot of coin slot, a lot of coin up content in them. So we can go through that in due course. It'll be good. Good. So yeah, any questions, comments and all that lot, let me know. Otherwise, this coming week, what have we got on this coming week? If you still got stuff to collect, I shall be around Cambridge most of the week. Hopefully, finally, my van is coming on Wednesday. They don't be a big one over the weekend, so that's okay. So yeah, I'm around most of the week, I think. Just give me a shout. Taking stuff in now for the next auction, and entries with that will close on the, let me get the date right, 2 weeks before basically. So the auction will be 31st of July. So entries with that will close the 17th. I'm giving myself 2 weeks this time, because a week wasn't enough. Everybody puts stuff in at the last minute and it just backlogs up and I can't get it done, processed through quick enough, and it holds up the getting the catalogue online, which isn't fair for those who have got their stuff in early, is it? So 2 weeks strict. Paul says, you had a picture of the Smile machine at the start. Oh yes, I did, didn't I? What did I do with that? Hang on a minute. Yes, that's the arcade in this article. Wanted to move me. I have to move my flag again. Look, I'll move that instead. Look, there we are. The winner's smile. Yeah, I could see a little bit more detail in this as well once I've coloured it up. You'll see when I upload it, you'll be able to zoom into it a little bit. But as far as I can make out, it doesn't look like a particularly deep machine, so it goes against the wall. But you're looking into obviously a 45-degree mirror, a bit like the Tip the Skittles and those kind of machines. So the coins must fall down inside the machine quite low. The faces appear to have names on. As I say, it's amazing what you can fiddle around with Photoshop and discover. I think, what have I done with the picture? Can I hang on a minute, let me see if I can get it on desktop. I don't think I can get this to come up on the screen any bigger. What I was trying to do. I might have to do it like this. Hang on a minute. So can I do this? Probably can. Yeah, that might work, mightn't it? There's that. Yeah, smiling faces wins. You can see kind of in the window, the faces are named. The first one, which is really bright on the left, I can't see because it's too bright. The next one looks like Len. Looks like Len, Tom, Ben, I think the next one is, possibly. And it appears on the, where it says smiling face wins, underneath that looks like you've got a sloped bank of coin entries, I suspect. It's just, I mean, you're literally dealing with like 4 dots of newsprint and trying to figure out what it is. But it looks like they're probably the 5 slots. It says there's 5 players, 25 slots, which is obviously 5 per player. And it does look like there's 5 slots there in each section on that kind of sloped panel. So presumably the pennies drop in there, and somehow or other you make the face smile. But how, we don't know as yet. So whether again it was a tip the skittly type thing where the coins built up and moved something simply mechanically, I don't know. Or whether you had to, whether it's a, you know, flashing light type game, electromechanical thing. Frustrating, isn't it? You can't quite see enough. But we see more than we saw before, so that's good. But, yeah. I suspect Paul will be making this next when we can figure out what it is. So we'll have to wait and see. There'll be another one on his list to make. But yeah, quite possibly, if and when we can, you know, get hold of some more copies of Coin Slot, we might be a little review of it or something, or some more details in an advert. I mean, this calls it a completely new and attractive machine, completely new as of June 1965. So, you know, some other trade magazines of that kind of era may well have a few more details, might tell us what it did. So yeah, there we go. There's that one. What was the other ones? Yeah, the spot isn't quite. I'll fiddle with these ones, see if I can get these a bit better. It's really tricky to do because you're dealing with, you know, as I say, poor quality newsprint, which is now old, 57 years old as well, with bleed through from the back all the time. You can see the picture on the back of this is another machine of some description. So yeah, doing my best. It's quite fun trying to play around with these images and find out, you know, how good you can make them, really. Just to see what more information we can find. Looks a bit better blown up, doesn't it? Yeah, auto slot sales. Florida penny fruits. This is quite good. I'll try and do a bigger, higher resolution of this. And then those of you, I know 2 or 3 of you got a Wheel of Fortune, print it out and frame it, stick it on the wall. Where's the old arcade gone? Oh, that's a bit too big now, isn't it? Like that. What am I trying to do? I don't know really. Yeah, starlight. That looks interesting, doesn't it? You see in the back there, on top left of this picture, there you've got the Jameson rotor lights, and looks like a Wynnum Place Allwyn to me. Across the other side, the top there, roughly in the middle of the picture now at the top, is the Challenger. There's some more Jamesons around the corner. And that big square thing in the middle there, in the middle of the frame there now, is the train thing. You've got hand grab, merchantman crane, and a couple of gold awards. And then your Bergman non-stop. Good, eh? Good what you can find, isn't it? I think I've got a better picture of the non-stop on the website, haven't I? It's quite an interesting machine. I think we might have sold one once. I can't remember. Let's have a look. Coin up. Let's buy Bergman's. T8 Bergman's non-stop. Have I sold one? No, I've got an image one though. I'm sure I might have sold one of these years ago. Been in a bit poor condition. It just fires a ball backwards and forwards, a bit like a ice hockey type of thing. But with scoring, electromechanical. A nice veneered case. Yeah, quite a nice thing, really. Yeah, so I'm also going to update this before I start adding on for the next auction. These pages make them a little bit better. Like everything else, it's a constant improvement, but we'll start listing stuff for the next auction very soon. Let's put another picture up there or something. There's some other stuff. As I say, stuff's starting to come in. Yeah, or people are talking about consigning stuff. So if you've got stuff to come in, then bring it whenever. Sooner the better. And as I say, we will be closing that on the, I've forgotten the date again already, 17th of July, I think it was, 2 weeks before, to give time to get everything photographed, uploaded, and so there's still a good week or so for the catalogue to be out. Yeah. I was talking to somebody today who's got a few all wins to come in, which is good because they seem to be particularly thin on the ground at the minute. The Pelham puppets machine that will be coming. That's been confirmed. What else do I know that's coming? Yeah, don't know, stuff. So, and then there's a few odd bits and bobs that didn't go, that will probably be relisted, I should think. Not sure yet. There wasn't much. I think all the machines sold bar 2, if I remember rightly. Pretty much all the fairground. There wasn't much, didn't go really, just a few odd bits and bobs. So it was a good sale, really. Yeah. Anybody, any questions, comments, ideas, moans and groans, aches and pains? Whatever, fire away. Otherwise, we'll probably round things up in a bit. I'll go and have another cup of tea. Yeah. I might change the nights of the videos soon as well. I might do Wednesday instead of Tuesday. I'm toying with the crazy idea of actually having a day off each week, or even 2 possibly. It was a bit radical for me because I've always worked 7 days a week. But yeah, you never know. Otherwise, I'll sign off if everybody's all good. We'll catch up again in the week. Tuesday night will be the next one. And oh, the other thing I was going to say, I did put it in the email today, but if you sold stuff in the auction and you haven't given me your bank details yet, then let me have them tomorrow, because we'll start doing payouts tomorrow night when they've taught me how to do it out of Easy Live. How to log it properly on the system. That's my last little bit of training with Easy Live tomorrow afternoon, and then we can get those out. So yeah, there we are. Hopefully nobody said that the video's gone wrong or the sound's gone horrible or anything. So I'm hoping it's held up well. I'll have a look back at the recording when I finish and see how it looks. So I lowered the resolution a little bit from HD to 720p, I think, and just so it's not trying to stream so much out. So this is going out on my 4G router rather than the unreliable BT, and it seems to have held up, which is good. I think I told you Easy Live has sorted out the technical hitch why the sound wasn't working the other day in the auction, so that's now fine. So the next auction should be good to go with sound and video. So I shan't be here shouting at myself for 3 hours and not getting a response, and that'd be good. I haven't got this camera organised very well tonight, have I? Never mind, doesn't matter. Right, so I think that's probably it from me. I will catch you all Tuesday. David said it worked great here. That's good to know. Yeah, I mean, it should help your end as well, because if it's not trying to chew so much data back out again your end as well, equally that will help with you if you've not got such a great connection. Or if you're using it wirelessly or on your phone or tablet or something. So it should help both ends in theory. Yeah. Good stuff. Right. I'll wrap things up then. I need a cup of tea. And I will say have a play in the week about improving some of these adverts and adding them on the website, so you can have a look at those. If you want an even bigger scan of anything, just let me know. Also, obviously the pictures automatically go up with a little like the copyright thing across them Colcom. But if you want one, like for example Peter and Paul, if you've got where you've got the Wheel of Fortune machines, if you want a scan without that on, so you can print it off and frame it up without Colcon written across it, just let me know and I'll email it to you. A bit better one, and then you can hang it on the wall or whatever you want to do. Right, that's it then. Peter says great night, here's to the next one, marvellous, and he's off, super. I'm going to have a cup of tea. I'll catch you all next one, so I'll stick in here. Oh, what if I'm typing in the right box anyway? Next one, Tuesday night. Stream seems to have held up. Okay, so all good. Right, shove that in there like that for anybody who tunes in late. Smashing. So thanks all, as per usual. You know where I am if you want me. And we'll catch up on Tuesday. Yeah, nighty night. Over and out. Can't spell.